It takes a lot of courage to be fully human and to feel into things deeply. Our emotions are only ever an inner guide pointing to where we can liberate ourselves more deeply. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing really well, staying safe and healthy during this really unknown time in the world we are experiencing. I was feeling very called for the last, week or so to really sit with you guys and just kind of check in with you guys and let you know that you are not alone in your feelings and that this is a very dense, energetic time that we are experiencing as a collective. This is a very chaotic and dense and kind of confusing time for a lot of people. And I really just wanted to sit with you guys. I have some notes here on my phone that I've been kind of collecting as thoughts came through this past week or so about how I've been feeling and the energy I've been picking up from the collective and messages that are coming through during meditations and just little subtle things I'm picking up on. I feel that it's really important for me to be authentic about how I'm feeling and my truth in this experience. That way maybe others of you will also feel less alone, or maybe others of you can relate to how I'm feeling, or maybe others of you can grab one little piece of advice that I speak through this video and maybe just find a little bit of comfort during this time. We're all going to be experiencing kind of this tower moment in a different part of our lives. These planets are all transiting different houses for everyone individually. Although we can all come together and, be authentic about where we're feeling fear, be authentic about where we're feeling really deep emotions. For a lot of people, this can be super expanding too, as Mother Earth is shifting consciousness herself. She is raising her vibration, and when Mother Earth raises her vibration, it's also going to encourage us, it's going to kind of push and catalyst us forward to also raise our vibration. And sometimes before raising our vibration, we have to face shadow work, which I'm going to get into here in a few minutes. But it can be a really dense time for people because a lot is coming to the surface, a lot is showing up on a collective level, but also individually, we're all experiencing the tower moment somewhere in our life. And I just want to let you guys know you are not alone in experiencing this. Everybody is experiencing this for the evolution of their own individual consciousness. So we're going to pull a few cards here before we get started with kind of the gist of what I want to talk to you guys about today. Alright, so got the cards. Let's go ahead and pull a few cards. See if there are any messages that want to come through here. Alright, we have Seven of Pentacles, which is funny because that has a lot to do with what I'm going to talk to you guys about. Alright. Four of Cups. King of Pentacles. Tower moment and, I'm sorry, the Tower moment. I'm having a Tower moment. We have the Tower card and the Hanged Man. Okay, so we're going to hold these cards here for now, and maybe we'll pull some more later on. But really, really what's kind of happening right now, or what I'm seeing collectively, is like we're experiencing this Tower card moment that's going to bring a lot of questioning. It's going to bring a lot of fear. It's going to bring a lot of confusion. It's going to bring a lot of, the Hanged Man kind of mentality. Like, what do I do now? What's happening on Earth? A lot of unknowns and a lot of questioning. And it's like this Tower moment's going to have you probably questioning a lot of things in your life. Now with the Seven of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, I'm seeing this relation of where is it that you're putting your focus into right now? Where is it in your life that you're giving your attention? Where is it in your life that you are giving your energy and your passion? Like, what is it in your life that really, like, what's your purpose? What are you here to do? What are you here to create? What are you here to give your time to? And with the King of Pentacles here, it's something that I think is really grounding for you, and something that I think is going to provide you with financial stability, because I feel like there's a lot of fear-based thinking on how am I going to make money? How am I going to achieve my goals now that we're in so much unknown in the world? And I think with this Tower card moment, it's bringing up a lot of fears, a lot of confusion, a lot of questions, a lot of chaos. You know, all for good. At first it may feel very painful and we have to go through, you know, the shock of it all, but all for the betterment of humanity, all for the forward movement. You know, going into Age of Aquarius also, and, you know, following astrology, it's like we're going into a time period now where a lot of things are going to change. The way we do our everyday life is going to change. The way we do business is going to shift. We're going to start seeing a lot more of our everyday life be moved by technology in really huge ways. And I feel like, you know, there's a really strong pull right now to go after what it is you see to be an opportunity for yourself financially or career-wise, to really focus on that. But also it's like something you're passionate about, something that grounds you, something that brings you a lot of joy. Because Seven of Pentacles, it's like we put our hard work in and we put in this energy toward things that we feel we're proud of, we feel is worth our time, we are excited to watch grow. And these things are going to ground us, they're going to be financially rewarding. But I do see with this Four of Cups here, it's like for some of us, we may be worried about what that's going to look like. We might be looking more at the negative than the positive of this current situation, which I think is completely normal, because being really sensitive beings, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're probably very empathic, very intuitive. I think it's easier to pick up on this collective fear that's going on right now. I think here there's this message that it's like, we cannot get so caught up in the fear of things falling apart that we forget to accept these new opportunities that are really opening up for us, and allowing us the space to now create new ways of financial stability. And I do feel a lot of fear surrounding money. I do feel a lot of fear surrounding what's going to happen to the economy. And with the Hangman, I feel like there's a lot of like almost standstill energy of questioning. This has not too much to do with what I just said, but there is this meme that I thought was kind of funny. Somebody posted, or I saw it on Instagram, and it was like, check on your conspiracy theorist friends. They're probably not okay right now. I like to kind of check in on a little bit of everything, and I like to kind of listen to different points of views and different perspectives. I don't like to like just, you know, pick one thing and say, okay, this is my belief. While also, you know, hearing the outside noise, I also like to tune in and receive my own messages and my own truths. But it's funny because I do kind of keep up with conspiracy theories, and I do kind of feel like there's this really big question mark about what's going on right now when it comes to the conspiracy theorists that are out there and what the information they're providing us with. And I think that, you know, in a time like this, it's best to kind of tune everything out and kind of come back within, because when we tune too far out, or like when we tune too deeply into everybody else's perspectives, we kind of start losing ourselves in our own voice, in our own truth, and our throat chakra kind of starts to contract. And so I think it's always very important to, no matter what is going on outside, to always remain true to your truth and always to expand on your beliefs. And if you are mutable, I'm very mutable, so I'm going to say this, is if you are mutable and you are easily susceptible to other people's opinions, I think now is the best time to kind of tune that out a little bit and kind of retreat back within the self. And if you feel like you're getting confused about what's going on, because there is a lot of unknown right now, just take some time to tune out of the social media. Take time to tune out of people that have really strong opinions or people that are pushing their opinions like really heavily out. You can grab little bits of what you believe is true and what you feel resonates with you. But all I'm saying is don't get sucked into so many other people's beliefs that you forget to have your own voice. Okay, so I'm going to get started here with a little bit of what I've been taking notes on. For you very emotionally insensitive people, yes, this is a really, really wavy time. And by wavy, I mean like wavy, like the ocean, like waves. I feel like there's a lot of ups and a lot of downs. I feel like there's moments where like the energy feels so expansive and so high vibration and so 5-dimensional. And then I also feel like there's times when it kind of drops back down, and I feel like that's the fear side, and that's like the lower vibration collapsing in the lower vibrations fear. You may be feeling the amplification of these conjunctive Plutonian energies as Pluto dances with Saturn and Jupiter. A lot of astrologers have predicted that 2020 be a very intense and transformative year. These current transits are demanding a global rebirth or reset and a falling of a foundation that no longer resonates with the collective and the highest good of humanity. We are facing a huge collective karma right now. And this has been over decades now that we have been creating this foundation that is not unconditionally loving, it's not unconditionally positive. It was obviously not working for humanity. There had to have been some point where like the tipping point or the breaking point of the foundation, because any foundation that's not built on unconditional love is always going to collapse at some point. And now the pressure is so heavy that it's starting to crackle, it's starting to fall. The veil is being lifted. We're seeing the truth. I'm not going to go into what may be happening behind the scenes in this video. There's a lot of other people that have their opinions out there. But I'm really just here to remind you that what you are feeling is okay and how you may be able to navigate these feelings. And what I've personally been doing to just stay grounded during this time, because it can be very intense. It can feel very isolating. But it's interesting because it's like we're all feeling it, so none of us are alone in this. As we experience collectively the karma that's coming up for humanity right now, we're also individually going to be experiencing our shadow, our inner darkness, our own inner karma. New Earth is here. New Earth is birthing as you watch this video. So thank you for being here for this shift. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you are a light worker, you are here to help raise the collective consciousness. And so I really just want to thank you for being here during this time. As sensitive beings, it can be very overwhelming at times to really process everything that's happening because we're experiencing such an intense time. Exciting, yes, because a lot of things are going to change for the positive, but in the midst of this transformation, it can feel very overwhelming for very sensitive people. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for choosing to reincarnate in this lifetime, to be here for this shift. It's powerful that we all have started coming together online and really forming really beautiful communities of love and of support, and it only brings hope for the future. So thank you so much. So like we were talking about earlier when I pulled a few cards, we're all experiencing the Tower card moment somewhere in our life. And yes, because all of our natal birth charts look completely different, we're going to be experiencing these energies to different degrees. Whether you are experiencing this Tower card moment within friendships, within partnerships, within beliefs you may have, within your health, your career, your financial stability, we are all being encouraged to look at some of our deepest seated fears. So I think an important question to ask yourself right now is, where are you being triggered? Because I feel like a lot of old triggers are coming up for us for deeper analyzation to transform this pain into power. I'm talking about the kind of power that helps you to really embrace more of who you are, and the power to really tune into your truth within what may be falling apart for you, or what part of your foundation may be asking for more awareness, or what part of your foundation may be asking for more attention. Of course, always facing shadow work is never easy, and it can always bring up negative emotions or emotions we don't like to admit that we experience. Any negative emotion that's showing up for you, what is showing up for you? Because ultimately this is for deeper liberation, it's for greater inner freedom, greater joy, greater awareness, more compassion, more forgiveness, and to shift with this collective ascension that's happening right now. We're having to shift with Earth, okay? Because Earth is transcending, so we're either going with it or we're gonna get dragged. Alright, so this is something that I had wanted to talk to you guys about, was that oftentimes in the beginning phases of your spiritual awakening, or really the beginning phases of your spiritual awakening, it feels like all light. It feels like, it's like an aha moment. You feel really expanded and liberated and proud, and you're just like, wow, there's so much light on the other side of this illusion that I was living. And it's really easy to get trapped in this mentality of like, it's all love and light. Which, yes, this is part of bliss we experience in ascending. And it's interesting because I know a lot of spiritual teachers that really push that mentality onto their students or onto their clients. It's like, it's all love and light, just shift your perception. But in order to experience deeper levels of light, you must be willing to know the duality of that. And I know many spiritual teachers that say, you don't have to experience darkness if you shift your perception and redirect your focus, and you can manifest a happy life. And it's like, I've found that personally, I can find all of those tools to be effective in certain situations of my life when they're applied correctly, but I also feel like that's very suppressive if that's all you're constantly living by, because to experience greater levels of light, we must experience equal understanding of our inner darkness. And this is what we call shadow work. To keep pretending that this pain doesn't exist and to keep shaming yourself for negative emotions that arise is only suppressing and neglecting what really wants your attention. It takes a lot of courage to be fully human and to feel into things deeply. Our emotions are only ever an inner guide pointing to where we can liberate ourselves more deeply. So by loving your darkness and by accepting your inner wounds as part of your journey, you are then allowing yourself to move through the darkness of your wounds with the wisdom and bravery of your light. I can't stress enough how important duality is. You're never going to just sit in the light. You're never going to just find the light and just that's where you are for the rest of your life. Now you're happy and you're free and you're liberated. Life is always going to give you new circumstances and new opportunities and new experiences to help your ever-growing consciousness. So life will give you whatever experience is most necessary for your growth. And oftentimes this is painful, because sometimes we have to experience the pain, the darkness, the shadow work to reach that next level of ascension. And we all chose a different path, a different journey before we even reincarnated here. And everything that we are ever handed in life, every experience that we ever have chose to experience in this life, we are capable of overcoming. We have the strength to overcome it. So now my question for you is, where is your deepest pain point in life right now? For some of you, this is going to be at the forefront of your mind. For others of you, you may need to meditate on this to really sit with this question and really get to the root of it, because sometimes our actual pain point is hidden or disguised by something different, because we're so protective of not wanting to feel this pain that we'll cover it up with something else. And so sometimes it takes a lot of meditation to really dive into the root of what's actually going on. If you're having a hard time finding your pain point, I encourage you to ask yourself, where am I experiencing the most fear in my life right now? One of the key things to healing is feeling. I'm sure you guys know you have to feel it to heal it. You have to feel it. You have to go into it to get through it. you can never bypass shadow work. Shadow work is never an easy thing to talk about. It's never an easy thing to look at, to admit that you have. A lot of people want to privately work on their shadow work, which I get, but it's like we have to admit and we have to understand that we all have shadow work. We all have things that we have to face. Dark things, really dark, heavy, dense things. So I encourage you guys to journal about this. I encourage you guys to meditate on this. There's no one way for everyone to move through shadow work, so you just find what works best for you. Some people do better with writing, some people do better with speaking, some people do better with movement, whether that be dance or working out. And also, what may have worked for you in a previous chapter in your life may not work for you in this chapter of your life. So for example, in a previous chapter of my life, I would be able to write out everything I was feeling, everything that was going on, and I would feel it completely lift from me. And I would feel like I was able to move through it through writing. And in this chapter of my life, I find that I move through what I'm experiencing now by energetically moving, whether that be through flow or through dancing. I find that being in nature, moving through nature, has been more healing for me in this chapter of my life than writing has. And at first, I was judging myself. I was like, why am I writing in my journal every morning and I don't feel the way I used to? And it's like, well, you're an ever-changing being and you're always evolving, you're always growing. So what may have worked for you in a chapter previously to now may not be where you are growing into now. So I just wanted to bring focus to that in case any of you guys have also been experiencing that. It's like, find a new way to express how you're feeling. Maybe that's art, maybe that's listening to a new podcast, maybe that's singing in the shower, whatever that is for you. Continue finding new things that feel like you're able to move and shift energy through. Also, another thing that's been extremely transformative for me in this more recent chapter of my life has been breath work. And there's a lot of guided breathwork meditations on YouTube. It's more of an intensive kind of holotropic breathing. It's very, very transformative. And also soul gazing, like looking in the mirror at myself and really seeing where I'm even holding back for myself. Like, because when I look myself directly in the eyes, I can't hide anything from myself. I'm looking at everything. And I can even see like the walls I've tried to put up with myself. And I'm like, oh God, this is awkward. Why are you trying to hide this from yourself? I really encourage you guys to sit in front of a mirror and just kind of soul gaze and see if anything comes up for you. Also, another thing, really tune into your inner child. I went on a hike the other day and I was just meditating and I was like, what do I need right now? What do I need on like a soul level? What do I need? And like it just, this voice comes through and it's like, tune into your inner child. Your inner child wants to be goofy. Your inner child wants to play. And I was like, okay. And so I'm like walking down this little creek on my nature walk. And within like a minute or two, I see this mom with her children, and she's being so hysterically goofy and silly with them. She was pretending to be some character from some movie. Maybe it was like Harry Potter. She was pretending to do spells with them, and they were giggling so hard because their mother was so authentically was showing her inner child. In that moment, it was just like confirmation for me. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Just a couple things that I want to remind you of before I check out here is you are not alone in this. Some of the most optimistic, loving, and awakened people are being triggered and moved by this time. You are not the wound you are healing from. You are not the fear you are experiencing right now. You are experiencing this experience in life with purpose, to learn and to grow. You are worthy of being loved unconditionally. So the last thought I'm going to leave you guys with before signing off here is, as we've collectively been called to all be in quarantine or to be indoors, I think that it's safe to say that we see a shift happening on Earth. Physically, we see Earth healing, we see the water clearing up in certain countries, we see the air pollution clearing up, the Earth is breathing again. And I just want to say that as Mother Earth is doing her work to heal herself, this is also a great time for us to work on places in our lives where we can heal. And I think now more than ever that we have this time to kind of reset, rejuvenate, heal. We can use this time as almost like a retreat, you know, just do little things that are very loving, as Mother Earth is also doing that for herself. Alright guys, I hope you guys stay safe and healthy, and my hearts, my thoughts, and my prayers are with everybody being affected by what is happening right now. If you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. My email and my website will be below, so if you want to work with me one-on-one, or if you just have a question, I'd be very happy to help navigate you to the best of my abilities. I don't have all the answers, but I can help guide you in a way where I think you'll be able to help find yourself the answers you're seeking. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys soon. Love you. Mwah.